Hi, this is Brian Warmers. I'm recording an overview of the syllabus for NUR451A, Management, Leadership, and Professional Issues, as well as NUR451B, Management, Leadership, and Professional Issues. It is a very similar course. The A section is for accelerated students, and the B section is for traditional students. Class time for the accelerated students will be from 11 until 12:30 on Mondays in Science Center Room 214, whereas Section B for the traditional students will be on Mondays from 9 until 10:30 in Science Center Room 218. This course is taught by myself, Brian Warmers, with my contact information down here, including phone number, email, office number, and office hours, and Megan Fredrickson, whose office phone number is there. Email, office number, office hours are here. So this course is a very important course because before you know it, you're going to find yourself in a leadership role, even if you never thought you would be in one. Nurses, by definition, are leaders. You are caring for your patients, you are leading them, you are caring for them, and you will be working with a multitude of other groups. So having a good understanding of leadership, management, and what professional issues are going on in the world will help you out in no matter what role you're playing. So we will focus on a lot of different things, and you can kind of look at that in the course description, some of these things, and down below on the weekly breakdown for the topics that we'll be covering. This is a face-to-face lecture. We are going to have lots of guest speakers that are great professionals coming in to talk to you. We do expect that you to be there in the classroom paying attention. This is not going to be hybridized. We are not anticipating on recording this unless another pandemic fully breaks out. So we expect you to be in seat, paying attention, participating, and doing those kind of situations. If you've got an extenuating circumstance, you have to run this through the Academic Success Center, and then we can discuss it. Learning objectives. So you're going to do a lot of different things. So you're going to be talking about management of nurses and of a leadership team within healthcare. You're going to be talking about different management leadership styles. You're going to look at your personal leadership style. You're going to apply concepts and theories of management leadership related to coordinating management and evaluating client care. You'll look at change theory and how that's going to apply. You'll look at laws, policies, regulation, and how that all plays into healthcare. You'll look at organizational structures and see how that differs between different organizations. We'll look at the role of that nurse leader within that interdisciplinary healthcare team. We'll look at the nurse leader's role in planning when it comes to delivery teams, including shared governance and healthcare trends. We're going to look at prioritization and delegation, which will help you out tremendously on your NCLEX. And then the use of IT in nursing and in healthcare. So a theoretical basis, we do have a big plan for why we do what we do. If you're curious about that, you can look at the AACN Nursing Essentials, and you can look at our curriculum mapping using this link here. Required resources. So you need the APA book, which you have. You'll need your ATI nursing book, which you have. Crytek book, which you can buy. It's fairly cheap online if you just want your own copy. Otherwise, there will be some on hold within the USF library. Teaching methodology, like I said, lots of guest speakers and lectures for this. Comfort Pass will be enacted with this. So I believe that both groups are familiar with this, but you can have 2 Comfort Passes if you need it. We understand that this is going to be a busy time for you, and so feel free to let us know about this. Let us know before the due date of the missed assignment, and then by all means, you don't have to give any explanation for what's going on or why you need an extension, but we'll grant you a week extension at that point in time. You can have 2 of these, but the assignments must be handed in prior to 4/21/24. Anything outside of these realms will be at the faculty's discretion, and if there's extenuating circumstances, we can deal with those. Professionalism points, so you will have professional points in this course, and that's going to be related to some of your assignments, showing up, your interactions with our guest speakers, etc., etc. Evaluation, there will be one final exam, which is comprehensive over all the materials and 35%, and I can talk about that coming up. You'll have professionalism points, discussions, and ATI practice exams for a quarter of your grade. A 1-minute pitch to your legislator for 5% of your grade. Change project for 10% of your grade. A portfolio for 5% of your grade. ATI proctored exam and remediation 5%. Culture for service requirement, which is pass or fail. A health-related political experience for 5%, and then a nurse leadership experience for 10%. Grading scale is the same as it has been throughout nursing. Progression policy, you do have to have a minimum requirement of GPA, as well as you have to have a passing grade in this course. Academic honesty, you've all seen this before. Please don't cheat. Cite your sources, do your references, all those kind of things. Compliance with the ADA Act, so feel free to review this. If you feel like this applies to you, please reach out to our Academic Success Center, and they can guide you regarding these accommodations. Program assessment, so at the end of every course we do assessments. We want to know what we're doing right, what we can improve upon, and so please give us some good feedback then. That does not stop you from giving us feedback as we're going through the course. If you want to give us some feedback that we can enact during the course and hopefully improve the course for you, that would be wonderful. I know Megan and myself would both appreciate that, and we want to make this course the best it can be for you. Culture of service for learning. So you've done these before, and I'll talk about specifics here in a little bit for this one. And service learning, copyright, like I said, do all your references and citations throughout the course. As we're going through this first week, I mean, we are starting, and it's going to just be a course orientation. So the fact that you're viewing this is a good start for this. But look at this overview, for the syllabus, look at the overview for the course. And then I'm going to be talking about the nurse leader experience when I do the course review. So there will be 2 reviews, the syllabus one and then the course one. Week 2, we're going to be talking about leadership styles. I'll lead this one, and we're going to be talking about your leadership style, what most nurses will do, and differences between the different leadership styles and when each one are appropriate. We'll also talk about the one-button recording studio. We'll touch on this briefly because you need to do this for an assignment in this course, but as you've done this for capstone, this should be something that is familiar to you. First guest speaker is going to come on week 3. This is Glenna Berg. She's actually going to be using Zoom for this call. Unfortunately, she had some surgery, and so she's a little laid up, but she wanted to speak to you, talking about NCLEX, what to do, how to get licensure, and so that's going to be the focus of this week. We may also talk about conflict and incivility in class, but there will be stuff outside of class that it's expected of you. Prior to all these classes, I do expect that you're going to read and pre-participate. So look at this stuff. Come to class with some knowledge. So for like the leadership styles, you have to do a leadership styles quiz and make sure that that's done prior to course. And then so you know what kind of leadership style you have. And then we'll talk about it. So same thing here. Look at the Board of Nursing. Look at the things that you are supposed to do for licensure. Think about those things that you need to do to take your NCLEX, and she's going to talk about it, but come prepared with good questions. She will focus in on the South Dakota Board of Nursing, but she can speak to other boards of nursing as well. Offline will be conflict and incivility. We'll talk about that. There's going to be some activities for you to do related to that, some reading, watching some videos, and then, of course, going to be doing some of these ATIs right here. For week 4, Dr. Schreniger is going to come into the classroom, and she's going to kind of answer any questions that you might have regarding NCLEX and licensure that the week 3 kind of stimulated. So we're going to give you the initial content, let you simmer on it for a little bit, and let you come back, and our director will talk to you about specifics. If you're afraid to ask, the Board of Nursing, that's fine, but she'll come and she's going to answer any questions you might have additionally. We're also going to be talking about QI versus EVP. We'll talk about change and change theories, and we're also going to be talking about organizational structures this week. And so you can see there's reading, and then a change project. And you can review that. We'll talk about that when I do an overview of the LMS. Week 5, we're going to have somebody from the Academic Success Center come and talk to you about resumes and interview techniques. Specifically, they'll probably talk about the STAR technique. They might give you some good questions that you have to think about before you go into a job interview. I understand that some of you have got jobs already, but this will still help you for any future jobs that you might apply, as well as I want to hear about those things and that you encountered during your interview and for when you applied for a job that can maybe help out other students. So that will be our guest speaker for this week, as well as the focus for this. We will be focusing on Crytek, kind of out of the classroom session for this one. So make sure you do your reading. Like I said, if you want to buy the book, that's quick and easy, and it's not that expensive, generally speaking, or there will be some on reserve in the library. Since we've got 2 courses of this, I will probably make it that you can read the book in the library, but you can't take it out overnight or something like that. Week 6, Jacqueline Kramer. She's going to come talk to us. She is a USF alumni, and she loves coming to talk to you. She's currently working at Southeast Tech regarding their LPN program. So she's going to talk about scope of practice for the LPN specifically and delegation. So this week, of course, is going to be talking about delegation and prioritization, as well as we will throw a little time management in there as well. With this, read this ATI book. Look at those readings beforehand. Look at the Board of Nursing regarding scope and practice of the LPN. They just came out with a great new article. I am going to try and link it prior to week 6 if it comes out publicly online. But make sure that you do some prep work for her as to the role and function of an LPN. Week 7, spring break. Nothing going on there, so you get that week off. That's why we kind of talk about this, some of these fun activities here. Week 8, Robin Randall. She's director of 6000 over at Sanford. She'll talk about budgeting, staffing, including, these fun topics. Once again, do your prep work, do your reading, watch Chasing Zeros. This is going to be talking about incident reporting. We'll talk about IOM and QSIN competencies with this, and we'll have a staffing assignment that you need to do. Week 9, Courtney Ehlers is coming. She has had multiple nursing roles and leadership positions within healthcare, and she's going to talk to you about professionalism. Working in multiple different facilities, she can speak broadly to this topic. We all want to be professional, but what does that mean? And we have to realize that every single person in the room is going to have a different idea of what being professional is. We'll also talk about team steps, and so you'll have to read the team steps and then complete this quiz. Easter break, no class on Monday. However, you will have a 1-minute pitch to your legislator. That will be due on the weekend with some replies the following week. You're going to kind of see that you got 1 posting due at the end of the week and then reply to 3 classmates 1 week after that. Within the LMS, you will also see that you're broken up into different sections. And so you'll have a smaller group and a smaller subset to reply to. Week 11, we're going to have Jody Haas come. She's clinical informatics at Sanford, and of course she will talk about IT and informatics. And you'll have other activities such as doing your nursing leadership experience, as well as doing your paper for this. And I'll talk about that when we cover this LMS and the specific homework assignments that you'll have. Week 12, proctored ATI for leadership. So we'll take this in class. It's 70 minutes long test, and you've done ATIs before. And make sure that you get these other aspects completed this week. We'll talk about legislation and advocacy as well. Then we'll have our final exam, and then class is going to wrap up then, and then we're going to move into, this is actually for capstone, but you'll do your ATI comprehensive predictor exam. And that will be a longer exam, and we'll talk about that when it gets closer to that due date. So status of the syllabus, we've tried to make this as thorough as possible with and hopefully won't have any changes for you. But just so you know, if there is one, we will let you know. So that concludes the review of the syllabus. If you have any questions regarding this, please feel free to reach out to Professor Fredrickson or myself. Thank you.